Here we're asked to find the limit as x approaches 3 from the left of this rational expression. Let's first note that if we did direct substitution, we'd have 3 minus 3. Now remember, this little negative up high means we're coming into 3 from the left. That doesn't mean negative 3, so we're actually substituting in 3 for x. Here, and in the denominator I have the absolute value of 3 minus 3. So that's 0 over 0, and this is indeterminate. Okay, so we're going to have to do some algebra, maybe find an alternate form that we can simplify. Now, before we go any further, we're going to need to know what this absolute value of x minus 3 actually means algebraically. Okay, so if you remember from your algebra, it means that you're going to get the same exact value if that quantity is positive. Okay, so in this case, that quantity is going to be positive if x is greater than or equal to 3, right? So if it's 4, that's going to be a positive. If x is 5, that's going to be positive, and so on. Now, it's the opposite of that quantity if the quantity is negative. And this quantity is going to be negative if x is less than 3. So for example, if x is 2, you'll get a 2 minus 3, which is negative 1, and you'll have to multiply it by negative 1 to get a positive result. Okay, so 3 is sort of the cutoff point here, and that's what this absolute value means algebraically. Okay, so with that, we can come back to our original, and we can say this is equal to the limit as x approaches 3 from the left of x minus 3 over. Now what we're going to do is think about x coming into 3 from the left, meaning x is going to be less than 3, right? Coming in from the left. So if x is less than 3, we're going to choose this version and replace it with the opposite of x minus 3. All right? Because we're coming in from the left. Now with that, we get out from under the absolute value notation, and we can cancel now these these factors, or divide out the x minus 3 factors, common factor there, and that'll leave us with the limit as x approaches 3 from the left of 1 over negative 1. Okay, and there's no more variables here, so that's just equal to negative 1. So there's our limit. Let's go check our answer on Wolfram Alpha. Okay, so here we are at wolframalpha.com, and I'm going to try to type this in. We had the limit as x approaches 3 from the left, so I'll just put a minus there. Okay, and the quantity we were working with was x minus 3 divided by the absolute value. So I'm just going to put ABS for absolute value, x minus 3. Okay, and that's how you would type that in, and then I'm going to hit the equal button. All right, so from there you can see you typed it in correctly as x approaches 3 from the left, and there's the quantity, and the result is negative 1. And so what's neat about Wolfram Alpha, it gives you a little more information. It tells you the limit as x approaches 3 from the right is positive 1, and you can verify that calculation pretty easily. And so here's a picture of it. It looks like a piecewise defined function. So as we come into 3 from the left, you can see the result, the resulting y value is negative 1. And as we come into 3 from the right, the resulting y value is positive 1. So that's a nice little picture. So there we have it. We've verified our result on Wolfram Alpha.